I have an idea, Terry.
Oh, God.
This is positive. You know the 12 Days of Christmas?
That's my favourite song.
Well, I reckon we release a song, the 12 Days of Rugby League, and every day is Rugby League.
I'm in. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can.
Thanks so much for the love last week.
Yeah.
It's good to hear some positivity.
Yeah, it was. My way. Anyway.
We're a duo.
Yeah.
Tell us that.
Anyway, Rugby League, it's the gift that keeps on giving, man. Like, we have not had an off season. There is just drama everywhere. Things are going, players are coming out saying they've never been happier at their new club. But drama, and it's only at one club.
Alert.
It's only at one club.
Would that one club be a
little brother?
Yes, unfortunate.
Yeah, Francis Molo, for reasons undisclosed at the moment, has refused to go back to St George. And he didn't really need to say anything, because if I was signed for St George, I'd probably refuse to go back as well.
Look, we don't know the ins and outs of this, so if something serious does break, we apologise in advance. But on the surface, it looks to me as though, first of all, their biggest problem is they keep saying, strike forward, Francis Molo. If he's a strike forward, you're in trouble.
Did play Origin, though?
Yeah, so...
That's why they signed him.
Okay. Either Brad Fittler error.
Yep.
So, with that said, I know he's a Queenslander, doesn't matter. Technically, I'm correct.
Yep.
I feel bad for the Dragons here. A player turns up and he says, I don't want to come back. Now, we don't know. Maybe Flanagan said, I don't want you, and this has all come out later. But on the surface, pretty funny.
It doesn't seem like a Shane Flanagan thing to do, though. And obviously, you and I have got the experience of the full Shane Flanagan effect, right? The highs and lows and champagnes and razor blades of Shane Flanagan. But if Shane Flanagan doesn't want a player, that player's gone.
True.
Yeah, if he doesn't want you, if you ask for a release, bro, you can go.
You want excuse here?
So this doesn't sound like Shane Flanagan has instigated this at all, because Flanagan actually re-signed Molo in the middle of last year.
Yep, fair enough.
So something's happened, and I dare say a club has got in his ear. Mm-hmm. Club's got in his manager's ear and said, hey, I know he re-signed, but we could probably have a little bit more money coming his way. I just don't know what club that would be.
Well, the talk is it's a Queensland-based club.
Yeah, so...
It have to be the Cowboys, right?
Well, you rule them out as you go along. The Titans definitely don't need another forward.
No, they're signed 56.
It makes sense to go to the Dolphins. They're a prop short.
Yeah, it does. Brisbane are full for mine. I don't think you
Yeah, Brisbane have got Cobbo and Stags that they need to get under control as well. And I think with the Ben Hunt situation, their cap would have to be pushed. The Cowboys does seem like an option. But the more I think about Molo, the more I'm thinking it's the Dolphins that have maybe said there's an option for you. If I had to throw a smoky of a club who I think that he would really benefit going to, and we were discussing them off air before, he just looks brilliant in Manly jersey.
Yeah, well, they need they're a prop short for mine, and I know they got some big boys. He's a decent player. I make fun. He's Origin quality. I don't know if he's quite a player I would put in that category, but he has played Origin. That's on his resume. It's a big loss if they do lose him. I think they've got to go into a bit of damage control here, because as much as Flanagan wants to put that, hey, this is a culture, if you don't want to be here, we don't want you, why would anyone want to be at the Dragons right now?
No.
That's opening up a big can of worms. If he flatly refuses to come back, I want to see him show some backbone and say, cool, sit out the season.
Yeah, we're not releasing you.
Or, hey, Dolphins, if you want him, there's a pretty good fullback you got, send him down to us.
Yeah, look, they're definitely, now that Hammer's in the relationship with Jamie Chapman, they're definitely not getting...
No, but they've got an NRLW team. Come on, you've got to think outside the box.
Yeah, look, I'm thinking outside the box as well. The players these days, generally, if they want to get out of the club, they will get out of the club.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
He's just not a player.
He just hasn't, the thing, you haven't done it the right way, and this is what I hate about it. If you're 3 years into a 5-year deal, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm 29 years old, in 2 years' time, this club's still going to be last, second last, third last. I've got the opportunity to go to a club that's building. I might agitate for a release. But you just re-signed. Your new contract only started in November.
It's the Ben Hunt effect. He's learning from his former captain.
Yes, correct. But Ben Hunt paid his dues at the Dragons,
True.
and he carried that god-awful squad into a final series and kept them away from multiple wooden spoons that they deserved.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Now, Ben Hunt's also 35 and needs to win a premiership. And he's given himself the best option to go and win a premiership.
Doesn't look good for Molo. If I'm the
doesn't look
club,
good for Molo.
other than the one that's obviously probably got in his ear, I'm thinking, is he committed?
Yeah.
Not good enough to pull this grief.
Now, sticking with the Dragons, last week it revealed that they had met with Matt Lodge and they were offering him a train and trial deal.
Yep.
Now, straight away when that article came out, I went back and I had a look at the previous articles about Matt Lodge and why he left Manly. And Manly only offered him 150 grand.
Yeah.
And he said that that is the money that you pay to a schoolboy who's just coming into the top 30, not a veteran. I deserve more. Yep. Now, I know he's without a club, he's without a contract or whatever, but I thought either they got the wording wrong or Matt Lodge was going to reject that. And it turns out Matt Lodge has rejected that. Now, the Dragons are in a position where they're about to lose a front rower. Do they get on their knees and go back to Matt Lodge?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they say, hey, look, a spot's open up. Obviously, we wanted you. They got to play it like that. Lodge can be within his rights to say, well, you didn't want me, so you can't have me. But not many clubs are bashing the door down for Matt Lodge. And I say that half in jest. But seriously, you joke about wanting him at Cronulla, and it's very much a joke, Richie. We don't want him at Cronulla. We don't want him anywhere near Cronulla.
Don't know.
No, well, I don't want him anywhere near Cronulla.
There are two clubs that have made apparently have had informal conversations with Matt Lodge's agent about what is he actually looking for. And can we get the Dragons' medical records of the fitness test that he did? Because everyone's talking about his knees, chronic knee issues and whatever.
Punching hand.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kicking foot. Like, I know we're making all these jokes about him at the moment, but
he's broken.
Yeah, there is a semi-decent player. There is a semi-decent player who could add value to a top 22.
Yeah, a top 22, yeah. Okay,
so if you named him in the 17 jersey for 2 weeks, then you named him in the 19 jersey for 2 weeks, there's value in that.
Yep, okay.
But the Dragons situation would be, he would literally be their number 10.
Yeah, you're starting.
And
you
probably...
Yeah.
No, he'd be better than, is Blake Laurie.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, Blake Laurie and Matt Lodge, like...
Okay, look,
no pun intended, but that ain't breaking any doors down.
No, I'm not a religious person, but I pray that's the middle three for the Dragons heading into the year. Please. Matt Lodge, look, yes, they need to go back to him, unless there's some freak kid that I just haven't heard of, which is tough because I do nothing watch football.
Play that Loco Pacifica Tonga. Just play him. Play your 19-year-old kids. That would be better for you than running out the dross that you've got there. But they do need to go to Matt Lodge.
They do, and say, sorry, here's your top 30 deal for 2 years. Let's get it done.
Yeah. Now let's go away from little brother, big brother.
Oh yeah.
Now we've had a very good off season of retention.
Yep.
It started off with a bang, and now it's gone a little bit quiet.
It's fine. It's not unusual.
Now, the player who's attracting the most interest off contract is Ronaldo Mulitalo.
Yep,
and it's no surprise, on his day, he's a top 5 winger in the game. He's a New Zealand international. If someone hadn't snitched on him on Twitter, he would have had about 10 origins under his belt at the moment. And probably a couple of caps for Australia instead.
Yeah, probably.
Two articles came out, because they had to correct themselves, that he is being shopped to Brisbane by Cronulla.
Yeah.
Two things. Cronulla are never going to shop Ronaldo Mulitalo, and he's off contract. Yeah. He shopped himself.
Of course. He's just his manager.
So then the article came out that he had been shopped to the Broncos by his manager.
Completely fair.
And Michael Maguire has come out and said, we're flattered, but I want Selwyn Cobbo and Katoni Staggs because I want what I've got.
Well, all right.
Yep.
But yep.
Fair play to it. Now, Ronaldo, I missed it because I'm not big on Instagram at the moment. Well, I'm having a bit of a social media downtime in the off-season. But he's come out and said, black, white and blue, trust me, bro. Source, trust me, bro.
So he's making fun of the reports saying, source, trust me, bro, which is, of course, it's indicating to me that that's absolute bollocks, which is great to hear as a huge fan of Ronaldo and obviously Sharpe, a bloke who has been very public in saying, I hope he re-signs long-term because he and Sam Stonestreet potentially the best wing combination in the NRL, in the history of football. And if you want to go to other planets and find football players, you're better than them too. Love this. And I just love the attitude of Ronaldo because I think he plays better when he's got a chip on his shoulder. Right now, he's got a chip on his shoulder, so he has to read Fox and the Daily Telegraph reporting this crap. Now, who knows? Maybe his manager said, hey, you want Ronaldo? If he didn't, he deserves to be sacked because that's what a manager needs to do. And he's going to go back to Cronulla and say, hey, look, they said yes. You got to up the thing. That's what managers do.
Yeah. Player managers will take their biggest asset that they have that's off contract and will ring 16 other clubs and say, have you got an interest in my player? And the ones that come back and say yes, what do you value him at? And he'll get a median of all those dollar values. And then he'll go back to Cronulla and say, the average asking price is this. You might get him for a little bit less. You may need to offer him a little bit more. How are you feeling about that?
Pay the man.
Yeah, pay the man.
This is good. This is good. If Ronaldo hadn't said anything, your reports are easy to fall for.
Yeah.
They're out there. For him to come out and say that, he's Cronulla through and through, and he said how much he's loved the club.
I'll tell you though, if nothing is done in the next couple of weeks, that could just be clickbait either way. That to me, if he was doing that, should be close to a done deal.
That's my feeling too.
That's my feeling.
Again, with Sam Stone Street sitting, I'm sitting them both down and saying, what's going to take for you two to win us 15 premierships?
Yep.
Here's your money, sign, done deal. Obviously, fantasy booking there. But I'm liking where it's going.
Now, one club who's not liked where a situation is going is the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Oh, brilliant segue.
They have sacked their NRLW coach without a game being played. He joins illustrious company in Sam Allardyce.
Oh, yes.
Who was sacked from England before a ball was kicked.
Brilliant.
Talk me through it.
So the stories come out that he's gone.
Yep.
They departed ways. The rumours are what they are. I don't know. I don't care. It's not for us to talk to about. If something comes out, we'll tweet about it, blah, blah, blah. This is bad for the Bulldogs. The optics are terrible.
Yep.
Rumours or not, you're sacking a coach before it even started. The fact that this was tweeted about 2 days ago by the time this drops, before it broke, is bad because obviously the story was out there and it leaked from the club that has been very, very good with Phil Gould and not letting these things out. Look, I don't want to comment too seriously because it may be bad or it might have just been he's turned up late too many times. They got rid of him. It could be much worse. We don't know. In terms of their NRLW prep, this is horrible.
Yeah, I think the advantage for the Dogs here is that the season starts in, July, August?
Yeah, it's a fair way in.
So they can keep running the trainings that they're having or whenever it starts or whatever, but all the preparation that they would have done is now going to take a back seat.
Yep.
Players who may have signed to play under the coach would now be sitting there. Maybe they can agitate for a release.
Yeah,
Holly Wheeler, if you want to come back.
Yeah, I was just saying, for a year.
Yeah. But at the same time, with the NRLW now getting the exposure that it is, you don't want these kinds of things happening.
No, you don't.
No.
And again, we don't know yet what has happened. I refuse to pay for a subscription. But
just subscribe to Rugby League Outlaws.
Exactly.
You get the story.
We get most of the story, anyways. It's bad news, and it's not a good look. But there's an opportunity there for someone else to coach the Bulldogs. An all good team. Hope they go well and finish 7th or 8th, whatever.
Hope Cronulla spank you. Now, what is a good look for a team? Fletcher Sharpe has re-signed with the Newcastle Knights on a very, very lucrative deal for a young player. And it looks like he's going to play halfback.
Yeah, not...
Now, this guy's been flying on the wing.
Yeah.
A fullback by trade, but a ball-playing one.
Big player too. Big body.
Yeah.
Did very well on the wing.
Yeah, very, very well on the wing. And it was like if he got a sniff of space, it was a try.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he scored tries for...
Yeah, he scored tries for Lowes, yeah, and he had a great mullet.
Also true.
Yeah.
Which we know is very important.
It's very, very important in this, especially with big fan of the show, Beck Presswich.
Yeah,
she loves a mullet on a player.
Hey, look, double.
So, probably number one fan right there. I like this move. Newcastle copped a lot of crap. They couldn't get their own local junior back from Melbourne to come play halfback. They've got to try something. We've got them in the bottom 5
bottom
this year.
2, I believe. I think I had him second last. I insisted upon it.
You did.
Before this news came out, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, this probably could have made them go last if they're putting a winger at halfback. I'll tell you what, though, there was a pretty handy winger who converted to halfback once and won a Dally M. Yeah, Preston Campbell.
He's
Pretty
played all right. He had a couple of good
It's
seasons.
pretty handy.
Might have
Premiership
won a
winner.
premiership too.
Yeah, not with the right team, but he did.
I don't mind this. I've got to say, because looking at that, we discussed last week on the show, please catch it if you haven't, about their 7 or 8 options, and it was like, ugh.
Yeah. This
Now
is
you're
out of the
thinking,
box. I mean, this kid's got speed. And apparently he's got a real good passing game. If he can kick a ball, he's already better than everyone at Newcastle not named Callum Ponga.
Absolutely right. He's fantastic. You can't, look, there's people that are already calling for Ponga to go back 6. It can't happen. It's failed twice.
No, you couldn't have a Sharpe Ponga combination.
No. I think Sharpe at 6, Cogger maybe at 7 because Cogger kicks. I like it. And either way, re-signing him, genius business.
This is the thing, though. He needs to have a kicking game because if they go into a season again where they've only got one noted kicker and it's someone like Phoenix Crossland doing the kicking, they're in all sorts of trouble.
They are. I think this is a positive overall.
Yeah.
Not a world beater, but I'm a big fan of the young Fletcher Sharpe. I'm glad to hear that he's sticking around in the Hunter.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Yes. He's remembered it.
Jeez, we are.
We are good.
We're out of touch.
So last week we did the worst of the worst.
And I made a horrible error.
This week we're going to do the best of the worst.
Good. Well, it's only up from here. Literally.
Yeah, so
I just want to apologise quickly, Terry. I left Canberra out of my bottom 3 and I'm disgusted.
Oh, no, I think we've got Canberra bang on where they're going to finish.
All right.
So we're going 12-9 this week.
Yep.
And in 12th spot is your Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, I am not thrilled about this team at all. I wish I'd dropped them much lower. There's just not much going on in the capital.
I don't mind KO Weeks. Is that him?
Yeah. Well, so huge fan of
No,
KO.
I get Weeks and Kinney mixed up.
Kinney.
So I don't mind KO Weeks. I don't mind the kid who was their rookie. I just can't think of his name.
Yes.
I don't really care about Canberra.
Great team.
I love Jamal Fogarty. I'm an unabashed Jamal Fogarty fan. Joe Tarpany is a fantastic player. And you've got the ghost of, what's the guy with the mullet? I forgot his name as well. Yeah, that's him.
In Canberra,
I'm not giving him a good.
No,
good
this isn't. He's not fighting a good fight here.
No.
So in Canberra, they've got Joe Tarpany, who's a top 5. I'd argue top 3 middle forward.
Mm-hmm.
They got Hudson Young, who I'm a real big fan of. They got Fogarty and whoever plays 5'8", because they went round. Rapana retired. Mm-hmm. Does Savage go back to fullback? Perhaps they don't have a hooker.
No. Weeks will be their fullback. He was their fullback to end the year. Savage was good on the wing.
Yeah, he was okay. I actually really like Savage. I would give him a crack. But yeah, you're probably right. The second row, they lost Whitehead, so they lost all that talent. Their bench is pitiful. I think Corey Horsburgh looks good, but how many times have we said that? 3 weeks in, you're like, this guy's the best player. Oh, never mind, he's Corey Horsburgh himself. I think Ricky Stewart's out of ideas. They haven't recruited well. The New South Wales Cup team did come third. We beat them twice in the finals, just quietly. They were quite good. Schiller, who was their best player, has gone up to Newcastle. I'm unenthused. I don't see enough there. Even Newcastle, you think, if Ponga's on, they're hard to beat. Who from Canberra you think, okay, if Tarpany plays well, Tom Hazelton ran over the top of him like he wasn't even there last year. You don't forget stuff like that. I regret not putting him lower.
Yeah, I think 12th is right for Canberra. They just seem to have that lift about them. Things start looking bad and they get a little bit of media pressure, but it'll never be the coach. They will never ever criticise Ricky Stewart, and then they seem to get themselves out of a bit of trouble here and there. As I said, I'm an unabashed Jamal Fogarty fan, and they were comfortably in the top 8 last year until he hurt himself. I think 12th is right for them. But then surely they have to start asking questions about Ricky Stewart.
They do.
The problem with them is the same as Newcastle. They can't attract players anymore.
No, that's true. Now look, Strange or Sanders go ballistic.
Strange, yeah.
I could be eating my words, and I really like Ethan Strange. There's just so much. Oh, this could be good. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be games where it's really, really bad. I don't see enough there to win enough games. There'll be a game where we're sitting here and they've spanked a team where everything's just clicked. Hopefully it's not Cronulla. And there'll be weeks where we're like, Canberra awful. Yeah. So maybe 12th is right. I feel like I might have overrated them and made a rare mistake.
Mm-hmm. And 11th, we're giving this team a boost, but I'm not sure why. But last year we had them in the top 8, and I fought pretty hard. I didn't want them in the top 8 last year. I actually wanted Newcastle in the top 8, and you didn't. Newcastle made the top 8. You wanted this team over Newcastle. It's the Parramatta Eels.
Everything looks bad if you remember it. Definitely.
I can't get excited about the Parramatta Eels yet. I've got them in 11th. Now, I know they had a half-decent end to the year, and for banter, they absolutely spanked the West Tigers in the Spoon Bowl. But the heart and soul of that club's just kind of walked out to go to St George.
Oh, he's definitely walked out.
Yeah.
Hobbled out anyway.
And Regan Campbell-Gillard's gone.
Yeah, that's a big out.
They've recruited a young Penrith fullback.
Yongi.
Yeah.
A good kid.
They lost Blaze Talangi.
Yeah, that's... Oh, God.
Lomax
is going to score some points.
Lomax will score some points. Dylan Brown, his agent in the pre-season turned around saying, oh, he might leave.
Yeah, that's worrying.
You know, that to me says the Sydney Roosters have inquired and said, what's his contract situation look like? And the Warriors have said to him, come home. So, I mean, that's going to be playing on him. Oh, I mean, Moses is good, but he's fragile.
He is. I'll justify 11th. I don't fear Parramatta.
I don't.
They've
lost Mike Acevo.
Yeah, underrated. I see enough here to be better than the teams we've mentioned. Mitch Moses on his day is
he's a top 3.
A glorious footballer. I hope he can stay fit. You know, he did what Cleary couldn't, and he led New South Wales to whatever. I like Zach Lomax. I think he's a top winger. I don't know about centre. We'll find out very quickly. If Yongi doesn't fire, Lomax is going to play fullback. They're paying him too much money to be wasted at centre. Now, I'm not saying it'll fail, but if it does, Yongi is a rookie and he can get turfed and do. I don't rate Brendan Hands at all. I think they should have gone and got Jaden Brayley, which says everything about Hands. And I'm not having a go.
Who's the other hooker they have? He's one of the brothers. He's always... God, I can't remember his name. That's how shit he is.
Big fan.
No, I'm not. I don't really like this Parramatta team. The more I talk about it, I want to treat them like Canberra.
Maybe them go a bit lower. Look, Addo-Carr's arrived. He'll score some fun tries. Well, Penasini's got some tries in him. Bryce Cartwright's a lot of fun. You know, they're not going to defend. They're going to have to outscore teams. So I can get... That's why they're not in the 8 for me. They're just going to get beaten more than they win, obviously. And Jason Riles is going to decide where this club finishes.
Yeah, and I think as well with Parramatta is like they're obviously going to lose to the top teams, but there's going to be some weeks where they're going to rock up and just like get a hammering by a real shit side. Because that's just where they are.
Yeah, and they're going to beat teams and you're going to go like, geez, Parramatta are good. And then 2 weeks later you're like, is this the same team? Exactly like they were this year. Yeah. So... Last year, rather. So, yeah, I'm confident they're better than a lot of the stuff we mentioned, but I've seen people put them as high as 4th, and I don't know. I'm never wrong.
No. Parramatta won't make the top 8 this year. You can play with house money on that one. Now, 10th. This is probably our most controversial pick to date, because this team was a top 4 team for a long part of the season last year and went into the finals like a house on fire, crashed out against our beloved Sharks, have lost some players, but they lost Chad Townsend as well.
They did.
Yeah, checks and balances on that one. The Cowboys at 10th. I'm comfortable with this. The only way that I'm comfortable with this is someone put up the Cowboys' best 17 and it was gross.
Well,
I didn't know half the players in their back line and their forward pack just looked like crap.
Yeah, well, in that case, 10th might be being a bit positive. They got some wonderful players. Yeah, Tom Dearden and Scott Drinkwater.
That's the thing. You got Dearden and Drinkwater who, when they turn it on, there isn't a team that can stop them.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think Kyle Felt going is it's a big part because he's a pest.
Yep.
He's annoying. Yep. He scored 25 tries last year.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Valentine Holmes going as well. They got back into that finals game purely off the back of Valentine Holmes deciding that he was going to run through brick walls. Yep. And by brick walls, I meant flimsy Sharks defence.
And then when he got hurt,
it was over. So Reece Robson has decided that he doesn't want to be there anymore, so he's going to the Roosters. You just wonder how much is he going to want to put his body on the line for them this year?
He'll want the Origin spot.
He's got the Origin spot.
Yeah, if he wasn't in Origin contention though, and look, I hate to be that guy, but Nick Politis has come out and said we're not going to put up with A, B and C, and A, B and C are exactly what their current hooker and Brendan Smith has done. Robson signed, they're going to be like, come on early, we got the money. So
I don't think you'll go early.
No, me neither, but it's going to be there.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was an agitation there from the Roosters side of things saying, hey, get down. And also as well, if the Roosters are above the Cowboys and they look like they're going to play some finals football and the Cowboys aren't, I think you'll see the Roosters push nicely.
Exactly right. There's some good talent. There's some great talent in this team. Tom Lolo is another year older. I like Ruben Cotter, but he's not a huge forward. He plays huge heart. He's just not a Payne Haas kind of 400 metres up the guts type of player. I just don't see enough here.
Ruben Cotter is like a younger version of Cam McInnes.
Yeah.
He's small, he's all heart, he'll make you meters, he'll do his tag, and he'll die for that team.
Yeah, he will, 100%.
He'll absolutely die for that team. And he's got the best mullet in the game.
It's very, he's a handsome gentleman.
He is a handsome gentleman.
He got a couple of second rows that can find a try, mainly off the boot. That's going to be there. I just think if Tom Dearden doesn't have a 10 out of 10 season, there's just...
And especially, like, I know we take the piss out of Chad Townsend as well, but towards the end of the year, watching them just play that frantic football and watching Jake Clifford run around like a headless chook, you actually kind of thought, what's he offering that Townsend isn't?
Maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah, and Townsend was a little more...
I backed that decision. And
100% I backed that decision.
And you had to with the future, but at times you're like, there's no one that can say, boys, just let's start again. It's okay, now we're down by 6, we have to score for every single play. Frantic is the word, exactly right. Again, Drinkwater and Dearden versus the world. Good side, but 10th is fair.
And 9th...
Oh, controversy. West Tigers.
We and ahed about 3 teams to go here. And we've given this team a bump.
Huge.
Given them a bump. We'll finish 9th.
I had them so close to 8th.
I had them so close to 8th as well.
We wanted to. The only thing that held me back is that the Wayne Bennett succession plan for 2 clubs now has been Wayne Bennett, which means that Christian Wolf is dead man walking.
The only thing that I look at the Dolphins is the capitulation they had last year that you and I predicted.
Yeah.
You go back and you have a look at our prediction show last year. We said that the Dolphins had one of the best 1-17s in the competition. It's when you get from 18 to 30. Yeah. I now have a look at that Dolphins team without Kenny Bromwich and other players who have departed. And I look at it and I go, okay, they've got a good 1-15.
They do, yep.
16 to 30 is dross.
There's no depth in this squad.
There is no depth. And I know they were kind of hoping that guys in the Queensland Cup would want to go and sign for Retcliffe, but mate, they're contracted to the Broncos or the Cowboys or the Titans, and they're entrenched into that.
Yeah.
I think 9th, ninth is pretty good for them. It wouldn't surprise me if they got 7th or 8th, and it wouldn't surprise me if they got 14th.
Yeah, that's fair. It comes down to the hammer.
Yeah.
If he has a season like we know, like he did last year.
Yeah.
I know they did shift him.
Yep.
For Trey Fuller, who again is a very good player. I hope they find a spot for him to play in the centres and whatever. Maybe that's the way forward. You got young Katoa, who's 3 years in now. He's going to be a superstar. Jeremy Marshall-King is the most underrated 9 in the game. Love that guy. What a star he's going to be. Tom Gilbert is back too. Huge return. It's they've lost the Ewan Aitkins and the Rose Bromwiches. Yeah. Both the guys that you go, God, they've made 40 tackles. Oh, geez, they've made 120 metres. Geez, Aiken got that offload and blah, blah, blah. Ibosok's going to score a lot of tries. He's a superstar. Obviously, Azarko. A lot of points. Herbie Farnworth. I love Herbie Farnworth.
Now, they can't give you a return on Tom Flagler, whether it's going to be 10 weeks or whether it's going to be another year.
Yeah.
And Tom Gilbert, one of my favourite players, he's just made a pompadons.
Yeah, it's a shame because he rules.
Yeah, Tom Gilbert is awesome.
They got Mark Nichols though.
Yeah.
They got Mark Nichols. They got the guy.
Yeah.
Uncle Mark.
Again, that's what I said. It wouldn't surprise me if they made their first finals berth, and it wouldn't surprise me if they were 14th.
That's it. It's a good team.
They're
not great, which is why. Ninth.
Everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere you can. Thank you again, as we said last week, for all the comments.
Let us know. If you don't agree, let us know. Yeah. We're not here to be babied.
No, we're here to be perfect, and we usually are.
Yeah, look.
That's what I said. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the previous shows. I'll always reference the shows that we go to.
Ever missed.
Never.